Hello. In this lecture, we'll look at some of the tools available in Bluemix for managing some of the database services available in Bluemix. So in particular, we'll look at the tools available to manage the following services. We'll look at the dashboard that comes with the Cloudant NoSQL DB database service. We'll look at the tools that come with dashDB. And finally, we'll look at the tools that come with SQL Database. So let's start with the tools for the Cloudant NoSQL Database. The tool available for Cloudant is a dashboard written as a web app that's launched via the service icons hexagon within Bluemix. So after creating an instance of this service, you can click on its corresponding icon to launch the dashboard. The Cloudant dashboard is built on top of the Cloudant API and pretty much gives you all the capabilities available in the Cloudant API in a GUI environment. So you can create and delete databases, you can create, read, update, delete data, you can manage permissions and active tasks, you can replicate or share databases, you can manage your secondary index, all your MapReduce code written to provide secondary index capabilities, and so on. Here's a screenshot of the dashboard in action. And in this particular case, we're actually looking at all the secondary indexes available in this particular database called AnimalDB. And to the right, what you get is a summary of those design documents, and if we click on query options, there's an all docs option which would allow us to see the entire documents, and this is consistent throughout the tool. So whether you're looking at your database documents, your design documents, you by default you get a summary and you're able to see the entire contents of the documents by using the right parameters. This dashboard app is the exact same app that's used for Cloudant outside of Bluemix, so there's no specific learning curve. If you've used Cloudant outside of Bluemix, you'll be able to use the same application to manage it as you did before. Now let's look at the dashDB console. Like with the Cloudant console, it's launched via the service icons hexagon, and it provides several capabilities. First, the capability to load. So you can load data into dashDB from a variety of different sources, including your workstation, cloud-based storage, other databases, on-premise servers, and so on. Allows you to work with your tables. So you can browse your dashDB data by drilling down into the tables, rows, and columns. Allows you to run SQL. So you can run SQL queries to locate, identify specific information in your data. Just a nice GUI environment that allows you to work with your database data directly. And finally, it has capabilities for working with your data using R. So it has an environment for running R scripts. So you can develop statistical models and plot their results based on the data in your dashDB database. It also provides an RStudio environment, which is a GUI-based IDE that makes it easier for you to develop in R. Rather than writing scripts with text editors and running them, you're able to write scripts in a GUI IDE environment. So it makes it much easier. This is what the console looks like when you bring it up initially. All the capabilities are off to the left. And here we're looking at a screenshot of the R environment. So this is how you would run R scripts. As you can see, provides the ability to do plots as well. So you can write scripts that actually plot your data and do bar charts and the various types of graphic output available in R. And here's a screenshot of the RStudio environment. And again, RStudio is an IDE that allows you to manage and run your R code. So now let's look at the SQL Database Console. Like the other two environments, it's brought up by clicking on the services icon. And the SQL Database Console provides several capabilities, roughly divided into two categories. So the first category is actually managing your data. So you can work with database objects, you can look at existing objects, you can modify them, create new ones, you can run queries, you can load data from a variety of external sources, you can back up data, and you can restore data. The other major category of capabilities is monitoring. So you can look at your database connections, you can look at data privacy reports generated by Guardium, so you can essentially flag sensitive data and have an audit trail of all activity that occurred with that data. You can look at previously executed SQL statements, and you can look at the various table spaces, so the database objects that actually store your data, look at their status, and so on. So again, with SQL, the SQL Database Console, you're able to both manage your database and also monitor your database. This is a screenshot of the landing page showing you the two categories. On the left, we have the manage capabilities, and on the right, we have our monitoring capabilities. So in summary, we looked at some of the tools available to manage the following database services in Bluemix. We looked at the Cloudant dashboard for the Cloudant NoSQL database service. This is a web-based dashboard built on top of the Cloudant API. And as I mentioned earlier, it's the same application that runs for Cloudant external to Bluemix, so you don't need a separate learning curve in order to use it within Bluemix. We talked about the dashDB service that allows you to do data import, database management, and analytics using R. And finally, we looked at the SQL database service that gives you capabilities in two categories. One, managing your database objects, and also monitoring your database performance and activity.